Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today we're answering a great question, which is, what is the difference between Google indexing your site and Google ranking your site? And in order to understand this, we need to look at how Google finds new pages, how it parses that information, and how it gets them into a list of pages that are available to rank, and then determining how it ranks pages. So first step is Google has to discover your site or your web page. Now normally, if you have a brand new site, what you would do is claim and verify your site in Google Search Console. So basically you'd put a piece of code in your site after you get your Google Search Console account, or you would make add just a text record to your domain name records, so that Google can say like, yes, you own this site. Then what you would do is submit an XML sitemap to Google, which is a list of all the pages that are on your site. So anytime that Google needs to crawl your site, it has a list of all the pages that it can crawl. Now, if you have a WordPress site, there's tons of plugins that can create that XML sitemap for you. Basically, you're going to want to do this as well in Bing Webmaster Tools. Make sure that you submit a sitemap there so that Bing can crawl your site there. Also a good idea to have a regular HTML sitemap page on your site so that Google can crawl all those things. Because in step 2, what Google does is it sends out this spidering agent called Googlebot, which is basically it's like a browser in a way, but just it doesn't render anything. It doesn't send anything back to a person browsing the internet, but what it does is it collects the information on a page, collects all the code, all the images, all the videos, all the text, everything that's on the page, and collects that information, brings it back to Google's central server. So Bing also has a bot, BingBot. All the major SEO tools that create page indexes, they have lists of all the different pages of you and your competitors and all that. They also have their own spider bot things that go around, and they basically collect all the pages on your site. So Ahrefs, SEMrush, Majestic, and all those other ones have the same type of thing. So these bots go out, the spidering agents, Googlebot, they get all your pages, they bring that info back to Google's central server. So in the next step, Google parses that information, and basically what it's trying to do is figure out what your website is about, what each page is about. So it's going to analyze all the words on the page. It's going to analyze just in general, like if it sees like certain words and phrases like repeated all through your site, it's going to know, aha, we must put this website into this general category because that's what this is about. So it does that, and then for individual web pages as well, it determines, it looks at all the text. Now it cannot calculate on the level of a human brain yet. It's trying to figure out how to do that. They have their AI and their machine learning, their rank brain. It's getting better, but you know, still has a ways to go. But basically, if it sees all different words and phrases on your site, then it says it must go into this category, this bucket. This is what each page is about. This is what the site in general is about. Now, the next step is it processes, you know, all this information. It looks at all the pages on your site. It says, is this a high enough quality page to put into our index? Now, the index is basically a database of pages that are eligible to be ranked on the Google search engine results pages. Now, this is a recent change that they made. Very recently, they dropped a whole bunch of low quality pages. There are a lot of pages that disappeared because they were just too low quality. You know, and there are a lot of just really low quality pages out there, but most websites, you know, small business websites, enterprise websites, most of your pages are going to be available to be indexed. Not anything that I would worry about too greatly. But yes, this is a recent change that happened right around the time that they were doing the June update, but two different things. That's when Google was having their outages with Gmail and Google Sites and Google Sheets and all that. It was right around that same time. Next thing that it does, so it's got all the pages on your site, it's collected the information, it's parsed the information, and it's processed the information. So, and it said this is a good enough page to put in the index. Most pages are going to pass that test. So the Google index, it goes into, it's basically a collection of all the web pages that are out there. It says here's all the web pages that were still active, they were still live the last time that Googlebot went to each of these individual pages. Now, sometimes in Google search results you will see pages that are no longer there. Eventually they will drop off. Sometimes you will see an older version of your page. Let's say that you changed the URL. Let's say that you upgraded from HTTP to HTTPS, or maybe you redid your site. You might sometimes see older pages in there for anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks or so, but eventually those will drop off as well. But anyway, the index, just a collection of all the web pages that can be ranked. The last step of it is when Google ranks the actual pages for a given search query. Now, a few years ago, they said there was over 200 ranking factors. That may be more or less at this point, given how many changes they make to the algorithm on a daily basis, which they do. They change it pretty much daily, make like small adjustments. They have these bigger updates that roll out from time to time. They've kind of gotten in the habit recently of announcing when they're doing like major kind of quality changes to the algorithm, just to target all kind of different things all at once. But they do make daily adjustments to it. But when they rank, they're basically looking at, does this page satisfy the search query? Will this get the person who's searching for this, is this going to get them to their end goal? Is this going to get them to their task completion goal? Are they going to find the information they need? Are they going to be able to complete their task? Now, in the ranking algorithm, like I said, it's a black box. We don't know exactly what goes into it. We know some things that go into it for sure because Google has told us that the content on the page, the link profile of the site, these things matter. It also matters their machine learning, like whatever factors go into that. So I'm guessing like quality signals of like when users go to that page, what sorts of things happens there. And I'm guessing, now this is not for fact, it's just me guessing, that this is probably facilitated through the Chrome browser because that is a Google property. So I'm guessing that anything that happens in Chrome is reported back to Google. That might be part of how they collect signals to determine whether a page is high quality. Now there's other things that go into it too. They've said in the past that big brands have certain signals that smaller brands do not have, and they like bigger brands for a variety of reasons. Stability, recognition, they know it's a result that they can trust. But basically, if you're satisfying search intent, you have good content, people can get what they want, then that's, and you have a lot of links coming into your site, then that's, you probably stand a good chance of being ranked high. So I hope that explains. Indexing is one part of it. It's basically saying your page has been collected and it's put into this database, this filing system of different pages that web pages that Google has found. Ranking is when it actually sorts them according to a search query. And I hope that explains that. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here every single day making videos on SEO. I would love to see you subscribe. That's all I have for now. Until next time, peace.